Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from the Daddy Matt Experience channel. I'm your host, Daddy Matt, and welcome back to another video. Don't really know what to talk about in today's video. Just before I started making this video, I had to clear up some space on my phone here because I was running out of minutes to make my YouTube videos. So I had to put in my gallery on my phone here. Um, I had to put a lot of my older videos in the trash from the beginning of May and April, beginning of May, end of April, and stuff. Because we're in July here, so I got put in the trash and deleted those videos. It was like 18 videos that I put into the trash in my phone and got rid of to have some storage to make videos for you guys. I believe even though I delete the videos on my phone, even if I still they're still on, I uploaded them through YouTube Studio and stuff like I normally do, and they're on YouTube. I'm pretty sure they stay on YouTube. I don't think they're deleted from YouTube, those videos that I just put into the trash, if I'm not mistaken. So they should still be on YouTube, like videos that I've made in May and April and stuff. Those videos should be still there on YouTube Studio and still on YouTube for you guys to watch. I don't think they're deleted because it's not like I'm actually going on YouTube and deleting a video from my channel, so it should be fine. Because I was running out of minutes to make videos. Like I would have um on the top of my phone, oh yeah, I have this many minutes left to make videos. I'm like, well, I gotta make 3 videos a week for you guys on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays like I normally do. And you know I need the storage in order to make videos because I normally make these videos on my phone, as you guys all know. So yeah, I don't know really what to talk about today for today's video on this Wednesday afternoon. Um, been playing more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero lately. Been grinding that game out a little bit, testing out different things that are um for that game. The new college the new college football game came out, I think, yesterday. Um, Maybe thinking about getting that, but there's a lot of other things that I've been trying to focus on this summer, like my summer goals, like getting back into shape and getting a summer job, and trying to get my license and other things that are going on. This month has kind of been a busy month with a lot of um, well, obviously the 4th of July happened last week. I got a friend's graduation party coming up this weekend. Next weekend, I got another friend's graduation party. And then towards the um, sort of not last week of almost at April. Probably the 4th, let's see, the week of the 21st of July, I'll be very busy with stuff. That whole week I'll be busy. Monday through Friday I'll be busy with a lot of things going on in my life, and then I'll pretty much be smooth sailing as we hit the end of July. But we're almost at middle of July, which is crazy. I feel like the summer is going by really fast for my liking. Don't want to think about college just yet, but you know, it won't be a long drive to my college. It's a local college here in my um, area, so it's not going to be a long drive. But I don't want to think about college just yet. Um, but yeah, it's crazy stuff going on. But I'm managing. I do have a lot of time with my day. After I make these videos, I normally hop on some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, play a few hours of that, and then just chill on my iPad, watch YouTube videos, listen to music and stuff like that. So my days aren't really filled with much action, if you will, but I try to manage my days and try to make them less boring. I know I kind of have a repetitive life where I do the same stuff every day. I exercise, trying to get into shape. for later on in July for something important that I'm doing. That's why the week of the 21st I'll be busy um, of this month, and then trying to think what else is going on. Just other. I've just been focusing on goals. Some goals I'm focusing on more than others. Some I kind of have to push back. You know, yeah, push back, and because my life is kind of hectic right now, try to find the right opportunities to do certain stuff. I haven't metal detected in a while. I want to do that, but like I said, just a lot of stuff kind of going on certain weeks of this month. But hopefully, I kind of get once things get less hectic, I can start doing some of the stuff that I want to do. Um, haven't been really doing the search for a summer job. I know my friend said he wanted to try to doing tops, um, which isn't a bad job. If it's not doing like cashier work, maybe just stocking shelves or something, not doing anything too strenuous. I know with some jobs you need to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, or you have to have certain skills. You need to have a driver's license. That's why I want to start driving this. Start practicing driving so I can get my license. Because for pretty much any job, you need a license. You need to be able to drive. Um, so that's kind of a step back for that, and yeah, just trying to see my options. Obviously, I'm a high school graduate, so I don't have to worry about high school anymore. Each day waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But as college rolls in, um, eventually next month, probably at the end of next month, I think is when college for me starts at like the end of August. So things will get kind of not really hectic. Once college starts, I'll probably be busy some days more than others. Just depends on my schedule, really, for college, because my schedule for college is um kind of so. I don't have many classes to take, but I'm just glad with college stuff. I get to end in May, which is nice because then I get to enjoy my summer more. I don't have to worry about regions anymore, which I'm happy about. No more doing regions for me and stuff. That was the one thing I hated with high school was doing regions and stuff. But I've completed all my regions, got that done and over with, so I don't gotta worry about that. I got my diploma, which I'm happy about. Don't have to worry about the high school BS and stuff. Obviously, trying to stay in touch with friends and stuff is kind of gonna be hard because we're all going our separate paths. Some of us we might be going out of state, going to a college out of state. Just going on our own pathway into young adulthood and into better things for our lives. And hopefully, I don't lose touch with a lot of my friends. Hopefully, I do have a lot of my friends' phone numbers, so hopefully, as I get older, hopefully, um, I start, talking to my friends more often as I get older. Because I feel like some of us we kind of lose sight of things because we get into our personal lives too much. We focus on our education, you know financial status, trying to get a job, trying to make money so that we can move out of our parents' houses. And young adulthood is tough. We all wish that we could stay young and energetic and happy and not have to worry about things like getting a job and going to college and stuff. A lot of us don't want to really accept the fact that we're getting older. We need to be more responsible. We need to be more proactive and become contributing members to society. It's coming at us really fast, and high school doesn't really teach you how to be successful after you graduate. Like, you learn your history, you learn your math, you learn your science, you learn English skills and this stuff, but a lot of the stuff you learn in school doesn't really apply to whatever job you might do in the future. Because for some of us, we know what we want to do. We're going to college for a certain study or whatever. We're going for a certain amount of years. You might go to a college for 2 years, and then you might transfer to another school and go for 2 years. Or some of you, you're going for a doctorate or something crazy like that, where you're spending years and years at school. But honestly, I only want to spend a few years at school, 2 years probably max, to get my associate's degree. Um, and what I'm studying, everybody's got like a certain major and other things and stuff. But I just want to focus on the goal of college, doing my 2 years, getting my degree, associate's degree, and by then I'll be 21 years old, so I'll be um sort of like in that area of like, okay, I'm young, I'm 21 years old, pushing myself out there and trying to see options for what I want to do and stuff with my careers. Because with my career, there's a lot of options, but you have to prove yourself first in order to be able to get those opportunities. But hopefully, I'll be able to have those skills that I need to be able to do well in my fields that I want to do. And yeah, it's a lot of things to focus on at such a young age. But as you get older, you can't really do the things you do. Like once you're in college, you can't really focus on hanging out with friends and stuff. You might get too busy focusing on an exam you have to do for college, turning in an assignment on time, making sure you have to be responsible because now you're in the adult world. There's not going to be a lot of people to help you. In high school, you could, go ask a teacher, at a certain time period in the day, hey, can I have some help with some homework or something? That's not really going to happen. You're in the college world, dealing with a bunch of different professors and different personalities, and different people and stuff. So you're getting into the adult world really quickly, where you have to do what you got to do in order to succeed in college. There's going to be those professors that barely talk to you. There's going to be those professors that love what they're doing, have a passion for teaching, and want young adults to understand what they're teaching and want to help. But you can't really pick and choose like what professor you get. They're not called teachers. They're teachers, but I guess they're called professors because you're going to college. It's kind of more, I guess, a professional term for a teacher is a professor. But it's definitely a reality check when you walk into. Well, I'm acting like I started college already, but it is a reality check. It's almost like you're crossing into another universe. Almost, it's like high school was all right. We went to Earth, to the moon, and now it's like we're gonna try to go to Mars. That's the college realm. You go from, you know, landing on the moon to now trying to land on Mars. That's what college life, I'm assuming, is like. Um, but it's also like that gap until, okay, we're going into another realm here. We're going into another realm that we're not used to, but we got to get used to. So I feel like once I hit college, I'm going to have to advocate a lot for myself. I'm going to have to pay attention to what professors are saying, because there's going to be professors, they're just going to just yap and yap and yap, and I'll probably have to write down notes. Okay, this sounds important and whatnot, because there's not going to be those type of professors that are going to be like, oh yeah, this is important, this is important. No, no, no. They're just going to tell you what the lesson is about or whatever they're teaching, and you're going to have to probably write down on a sticky note or in a notebook, jot down notes. Okay, he said this sounds important, or she said this sounds important. um, Maybe they'll write it down on the whiteboard, or however a college classroom looks like. Maybe they'll write on a chalkboard or something, or maybe they'll have like a PowerPoint presentation or something about what you're learning. There's probably going to be a lot of presentations, I'm assuming, in college, where you got to talk about what you're doing and stuff. So yeah, young adulthood, transferring into being a teenager into a young adult is hard. I'm 19 years old, I'm young, but They in high school they don't really teach you certain skills of how to ease into college life, what the real world is like. Some teachers in high school they will tell you, okay, this is what the real world is like. There's not you're gonna meet some people that you enjoy. You're gonna meet some people that you don't really care about. There's gonna be people that actually love their job, and there's gonna be people that are just there for the paycheck. I mean, some teachers are more honest than others, and I feel like we all need an honest teacher, a passionate teacher or professor in the college realm, I guess, as the more professional term. Who are honest, love their job, love to teach, want to help you out, and I feel like we need more educators, if you will, as like a broad term for teachers, professors, and all that. I feel like we need more educators like that, and I feel like those educators will make us want to stay curious, stay learning, and stuff like that. But it's life is life. You're gonna have teachers you don't like. You're gonna have college professors you do like. I mean, it's just that's the world. There's gonna be people you don't like. There's gonna be people that you do like. There's gonna be teachers that give you a hard time because maybe you're not doing your homework and stuff like that. But as you get older, you just gotta get more responsible. You gotta learn to be on time and stuff. Not like I'm saying that just in general. Not like I always show up to class on time when I was in high school because I knew where everything was, which made it easier. Different routes and stuff. Obviously, with college, my schedule was going to be kind of whatever. Staying at home, doing some classes, going to certain areas in my where I live, in other areas a little farther away for college as well. So it'll be uh, fairly different. My days will be kind of so, meeting different people that I've never met before. Obviously, there's some sites where you can search up a person's name if you get like a schedule and it says, "Oh, you got this person." There's some sites where you can search up if they're good or not, but everything is to people's opinions. Obviously, with some of those sites, yeah, some people are very genuine about how they feel about a teacher, but everything is opinionated. So if you're a kid who didn't do their work and the teacher was mean to you, then obviously you're not going to have a good opinion about that teacher. Maybe that teacher was really good, but you just weren't doing their work and they were hard on you because you weren't doing your work. So obviously with some sites it's a very opinionated, but I mean everybody has their own opinion about teachers. Some people might think, oh, that teacher was nice. Some people are like, oh, that teacher wasn't so nice. But everybody has their own opinions. Every teacher or professor teaches in their own ways. Some teachers have a good teaching style. Some teachers don't have a good teaching style. But it's up to you to choose what teacher fits best for you. And I know that um, my nose is starting to run for no reason. And I know with certain aspects, you can't really have your own choice of what teacher you get. Or I keep saying teacher, but it's really professor, but they're kind of the same thing. Um, you can't really choose well, you can choose what classes you want, but there's always some type of BS with choosing a class. So this day, and certain teachers only teach this and that. So it's kind of wishy washy. Well, at least I'll get the credits. I already have a lot of credits banked up, so that will make my semester a lot easier. Because that's what they call them. Well, they did call them semesters in high school, but it's kind of different for college. There's semesters. But in high school there's like different quarters and stuff, like quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and stuff like that. But and there was only 2 semesters. Um, but yeah, college life, easing into college life is going to be kind of hard. There's a lot of different aspects of college that are going to hit me really quickly, but hopefully I can manage it. I just got to ease into advocating for myself, knowing what I want, knowing, communicating with teachers, sometimes communication, professors, whatever you want to call them. You can call them either or. Um, advocating, communicating. Sometimes communication can be off. Maybe you said something in an email, didn't come across as right, or come across as whatever. So it's better to just talk in person to somebody, um, to let them know what you want. Obviously, over the phone might be kind of nice, but I feel like in person interaction is better than talking over the phone. Um, like I said, there's just gonna be people that you like, people that you don't like. That's just life. There's people that are miserable, people that love their job. Yeah, like I said, there's gonna be people who are passionate about their job, hate their job, or are just there for the paycheck and don't really care whether or not you pass the class or not. I mean, that's really the whole. That's just life in general. No matter if you're a high school student, a college student, working at a job, a 9 to 5 job, making minimum wage, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna run into people that love their job, hate their job, or just there for the paycheck and couldn't care less about who you are and your feelings. Because that's one thing about life that you need to understand. No matter what age you are, where you are in your life, where you live, it doesn't matter. People do not care about your feelings. They don't. They could care less about if you're having a bad day. They could care less about um, if you stubbed your toe or if you got into a car accident. People don't care. People don't care about how your day is. Maybe some people do, but I mean, they're probably just trying to be nice. But that's the hard brunt of it. Everybody is in their own world. Everybody is nobody looks around. Everybody just looks straight ahead, and you can't really do that. You have to check your surroundings. You have to make sure that know where you're at, know your surroundings. Everybody has a sort of straight ahead, sort of vision where you should actually stop, take a look around you, and actually realize in the moment, take in that moment instead of just kind of running through life fast because you want to become successful very fast. But that's not real life unless you were born rich. But you know, we all in life have to take things one step at a time. We need to make sure that we know what we want. We want to make sure that nobody tells us that, you can only be this successful, because we can be more than what people tell us what we can be. Some people say, there might be adults in your life that tell you that you can't be this or you can't be that. But in reality, you can achieve things far beyond what people tell you that you can achieve. You know, if you want to be an artist, um, and you're really good at drawing, but people will tell you, oh, you'll never make anything that's worth any money. Well, that's not true, because any artist who's good enough to make a work of art and knows how to market themselves, knows how to create things that people would like to see in a museum or any art, festival or something. um, you can make some money off of your work, because your work is what makes you stand out. So, and we can all stand out in our certain ways, um, and do things that people tell us that we can only achieve so little, but we can achieve much more than what people let on. And I know people will give us a hard time on things, but we just need to keep pushing forward and not mind people's personal opinions, because the only reason why those people are projecting their um, hatred on you is because they're seeing that you are doing something that they couldn't achieve because they didn't believe in themselves. But you should believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, because you can achieve far greater than what those people can achieve. They settled for the easy way. We all need to strive for bigger and better things, even though they might be hard to achieve. We can all achieve something in our lives that can help society or help us to become better people. And I think we all can take a lesson from that at the end of the day, that, just because that person didn't believe in themselves and they're putting their hatred on you for trying to achieve what you want to do by saying that, oh, you can only do this, you can only do that, you will never be this, you will never be that. You need to not focus on them. They're a distraction. They're uh, a Debbie Downer. They're a party pooper. They settled for the easy way out, but you shouldn't settle for the easy way out. You shouldn't settle for um, the safe side. You should settle, well, not for like a dangerous side where you're going down a dangerous road to become successful, but take risks. Take smart risks. Don't take stupid risks. Take smart risks, and advocate for yourself. Speak up. If you don't believe something is right, you stand up for what you believe in. And yeah, I know I'm kind of going on a yap session. This is becoming a very long video, but I feel like this is something that a lot of people need to hear, no matter what age you are, whether you're a young teenager going through high school, whether you're a kid like me that's about to head into the college realm very soon, or you're a young adult and have gone through the high school system, the education system, whether it be high school, college, both, or you just went through high school and you're in a job right now, a 9 to 5 job, making minimum wage as a young person, or you're an older person, maybe you have kids, a family, and whatnot, a wife, or anything like that. I feel like we can all take a lesson from my video. I'm not trying to be like a I know everything type of person, because I haven't dealt with um, you know, struggle. Well, maybe high school struggle, but not like real world struggle of trying to make it in the world, trying to become successful. Like I haven't dealt with those types of struggles. I haven't dealt with like any marital struggles or financial troubles, because I'm not married. I don't have kids and stuff. But my nose is running. I don't know why. But yeah, I feel like anybody who's watching this video can, I wouldn't say relate, or maybe can relate to this video in some way, shape, or form, and understand the words that I'm saying. Um, not trying to be a motivational speaker here, not trying to be a person who knows everything about life, because I don't. I haven't experienced certain things in life that other people have experienced, because we all have our own life. We all have our own journey that we been through to get to this point that we are here today. Some of us have had it harder than others, but I'm very fortunate that I was born in this country where there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, including myself. And I'm fortunate that I'm in a average household, middle class, hardworking family that have worked hard to try to make ends meet and stuff like that. I'm pretty fortunate to be in a family that truly cares about me and truly loves me and wants to see me succeed. Um, so I'm very happy and grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I live in a country like America where I can achieve anything. Because if I lived in another country, I wouldn't be able to achieve some of the goals that I want to achieve. Well, maybe some of them, but maybe not on a big scale as living in America. So I'm grateful that I live in the USA, because I can make these videos for you guys. I can talk about stuff like this that is meaningful to a lot of people. And I feel like a lot of people need to hear some type of honesty in this world, and realness in this world, and genuine, real conversations, because I feel like everybody deserves to have a good life lesson told to them by anybody, no matter if they're older, younger. It doesn't matter, because we can all learn something from people, and we can all become better people. And yeah, I know I'm talking a lot, but as always, please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all my socials, like my Instagram and my Discord. Go subscribe to my boy Willie D and my TikTok, my Inspiration Victor Potato. Both their channels are also linked in the About Me section of this channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified for whenever I make my next video. And yeah, I know this is kind of a longer video, but I feel like this was a necessary video. I know we kind of went into a realm of realness and life and all that stuff, but I feel like this video is for anybody who's going through difficult times, or trying to find purpose in life or anything. I feel like this video is for anybody, no matter how old you are, who you are, no matter what country you are, what race you are, what religion you believe in. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you came across this video. Maybe you didn't, you know, maybe you didn't realize you were going to come across this video, but hopefully you stayed to the end to watch this video and hear my words of advice, I guess, if you will. But yeah, I will see you guys all in Friday's video, and I hope that you enjoyed this kind of more personal video from me. I know I normally don't make these type of videos, but hopefully we can all be better people. I guess that's the lesson of the day. Be better people, and let's all go through our struggles together and help each other out. All right, I will see you guys on Friday. Peace.